In the heart of Manila, where jeepneys rumble through crowded streets and church bells toll above the clamor, a young boy named Luis Antonio Tagle, known to all as Chito, once dreamed of healing the sick as a doctor. Born in 1957 to a humble Chinese-Filipino family in Imus, his life took a different path when a priest, with a knowing smile, nudged him toward the seminary. Little did Chito know that his journey would carry him to the edge of history, to the very doorstep of the papacy, only to see the door swing shut in May 2025. This is the story of Cardinal Tagle, the smiling cardinal, whose infectious joy, progressive heart, and karaoke-ready voice made him a global sensation, yet whose dream of becoming the first Asian pope in modern times slipped through his fingers in a swirl of Vatican intrigue, personal trials, and the weight of a nation's hopes. The boy who sang to the stars, Chito's childhood was steeped in faith and music. In Imus, his mother, Milagros, taught him to pray the rosary, while his father, Manuel, a bank clerk, hummed folk tunes that Chito would later belt out at parish gatherings. By 15, he was leading youth choirs, his voice soaring over the pews, but it was a chance encounter with Father Romeo, a local priest, changed everything. "Chito, you got a healer's heart," Father Romeo said, "but God might want you to heal souls, not bodies." Those words lingered, and soon Chito traded his stethoscope dreams for a cassock. Ordained in 1982, Chito's rise was swift. He studied theology in America, earning a doctorate from the Catholic University of America, where his professors marveled at his intellect and warmth. Back in the Philippines, he became Bishop of Imus in 2001, riding jeepneys to visit far-flung parishes, his red zucchero bobbing as he chatted with farmers and fisherfolk. By 2011, he was Archbishop of Manila, and in 2012, Pope Benedict XVI named him a cardinal at just 55, one of the youngest ever. His scarlet robes seemed to glow with promise, and whispers began, could this be the man to lead the Church into a new era? The Asian Francis takes Rome. In 2020, Pope Francis summoned Tagle to Rome as pro-prefect of the Dicastery for Evangelization, a role that placed him at the helm of the Church's missionary work. Rome buzzed with talk of the Asian Francis, a nickname born of Tagle's humility and progressive fire. Like Francis, he shunned luxury, opting for a modest apartment over a palatial residence. He invited street vendors to dine with him, their laughter echoing through Vatican corridors. His homilies, delivered in flawless Italian, English, Spanish, or Tagalog, were equal parts poetry and prophecy, urging the Church to embrace the marginalized LGBTQ Catholics, single mothers, divorcees, without judgment. Tagle's charisma was electric. At a 2018 UN conference, he spoke of migrants as blossoms who thrive when nurtured, his Chinese-Filipino heritage lending weight to his words. On TikTok, clips of him singing hymns or joking about his karaoke nights went viral, earning him the moniker karaoke priest. In the Philippines, where 90 million Catholics saw him as a national treasure, he was mobbed after Mass, his smile as bright as the tropical sun. Even in Rome, cardinals whispered his name as a potential successor to Francis, whose health was failing by 2024. When Francis died on April 21st, 2025, the world turned its eyes to the Sistine Chapel. White smoke would soon rise, and bookmakers like William Hill pegged Tagle as a frontrunner with odds of 9-4, rivaling Italian Cardinal Pietro Parolin. In Manila, churches overflowed with prayer vigils and social media erupted with number-signed Pope Tagle hashtags. Chito, now 67, stood on the brink of history, poised to become Pope Leo XIV, or so it seemed. Shadows over Caritas. But beneath the glow of Tagle's star, shadows loomed. From 2015 to 2022, he served as president of Caritas Internationalis, the Vatican's global charity arm. In November 2022, a bombshell dropped. Pope Francis sacked Caritas's entire leadership, including Tagle, citing real deficiencies in management. Whispers of bullying by top officials, including Secretary General Aloysius John, painted a picture of chaos. Worse, a scandal involving Father Luc Delft, a Belgian priest appointed to lead Caritas in the Central African Republic, rocked the church. Delft, convicted in 2017 of child sexual abuse, had been flagged to Caritas leaders, including Tagle, 2 years before his appointment. Why was he hired? Why didn't Tagle act? The fallout was brutal. Ann Barrett Doyle of BishopAccountability.org skewered Tagle, asking, if he can't hold his own bishops accountable, how can he lead a global church? In the Philippines, the Catholic Bishops' Conference defended him, insisting he'd pushed for abuse guidelines. But the damage was done. For cardinals haunted by the Church's abuse crisis, Tagle's Caritas tenure was a stain on his otherwise spotless record. He bore the weight of oversight failures, even if his role was largely ceremonial. As he walked Rome's cobblestone streets, he felt the whispers. Too trusting, not tough enough. A progressive heart in a divided church, Tagle's progressive vision, once his greatest asset, became a double-edged sword. His 2015 call to soften the church's harsh stance on LGBTQ Catholics and divorcees had electrified liberals but alarmed conservatives. At the 2014 Synod on the Family, he championed mercy over dogma, his eyes sparkling as he spoke of a church that weeps with the wounded. But in the College of Cardinals, where 133 electors gathered in 2025, his openness sparked unease. Some whispered he was too soft, his ever-present smile masking a lack of gravitas. He sings too much, one cardinal reportedly scoffed, as if joy were a papal flaw. Tagle's reluctance to confront controversy head-on didn't help. In the Philippines, his silence during Rodrigo Duterte's bloody war on drugs drew criticism. While Cardinal Pablo Virgilio David, his friend and fellow Filipino, denounced the killings, earning death threats, Tagle's statements were cautious, almost diplomatic. "He cares," said Father Shea Cullen, a whistleblower priest, "but he doesn't shout." Similarly, Tagle's alignment with Francis's secretive Vatican-China deal on bishop appointments raised eyebrows. His Chinese roots made his silence conspicuous. Some cardinals hoped for a bolder stance, like that of German Cardinal Gerhard Müller, who called the deal a betrayal. The conclave's hidden currents. As the conclave began on May 8, 2025, Tagle entered the Sistine Chapel with the weight of a nation on his shoulders. The Philippines, with 5 cardinals among the electors, buzzed dad. The conclave was a cauldron of ambition and prayer, where 133 men, 80% appointed by Francis, wrestled with the Church's future. Tagle's youth, 67, young for a pope, worried some, who feared a long pontificate would block other candidates. Edward Penton, a Vatican watcher, noted, Tagle's age could stall others' chances. His Filipino identity, while historic, sparked quiet bias. An ex-post by it Pars Times mused, "No superpower, no papacy." The Italian adage, "He who enters a conclave as pope exits a cardinal," proved true. Tagle's early support, bolstered by Filipino and Asian cardinals, faltered as scrutiny mounted. Paroline's candidacy faded, and a compromise emerged. American Cardinal Robert Prevost, 69, a steady hand with no scandals. On May 10th, white smoke rose, and Prevost emerged as Pope Leo XIV. In Manila, hearts broke. I wept, posted at Noliela, but Chito's light still shines. The weight of a nation's dreams. Back in the Philippines, Tagle's near miss unleashed a torrent of emotion. Social media overflowed with pride and pain. "He was our hope," tweeted at Sofnev 2015, while others criticized the Pope Tagle frenzy as cringe. The Catholic Bishops' Conference had begged restraint, fearing the campaign hurt Tagle's chances. In Imus, Milagros Tagle, now elderly, prayed silently, her son's smile etched in her heart. Tagle, ever humble, took it in stride. "God's will," he told a confidant, his karaoke nights resuming quietly. At 67, he remains a cardinal, recently named special envoy to the 2024 Eucharistic Congress and reappointed to his Vatican post by Leo XIV. His story isn't over. As he sang in a viral clip, "Imagine a world of love." Chito still dreams of a church that heals, a world that sings. The papal throne eluded him, but his melody lingers, a Filipino hymn echoing beyond the Vatican's walls.